transitioning now from DC to Marvel, we have a mild, and I mean mild but also significant at the same time, update on the Fantastic Four movies. So we know maybe about a month or two ago, Spider-Man No Way Home, well, Spider-Man entire trilogy director Jon Watts dropped out of the project due to burnout, like superhero fatigue and burnout, wanting to do smaller projects. There was some conspiracy theories, also kind of peddled by me, I'll fully own up to that he might have been replaced by John Krasinski, but I'm starting to think that that might not be the case anymore, as according to some sources, Marvel is looking at big name directors, specifically Kevin Feige is looking at big name directors to be helming this new Fantastic Four, because supposedly he really liked being able to take a back seat on the production of Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, because Sam Raimi has been making movies since before all of us have been alive, basically, and has years more experience than a lot of other MCU directors. Not all, but most. So I think he got that first taste of, oh, hiring people with experience is nice. Wow. What a novel revelation there, Kevin Feige. I think this is good. Interesting, but good. I will bring up, though, it's just like, well, just because they bring experience doesn't mean they're always the best fit. I don't know how you felt about it, but I think Doctor Strange could have been better with a different director. It was very Sam Raimi, for better or for worse. It excels at the Raimi parts, I'll say that. I'm wondering if how much of my list still is intact, whether those names are still big names. So before we kind of double back on some of the names that I floated out when we last talked about Fantastic Four, Ivan, when you hear big name directors and Fantastic Four, is there anything that stands out to you the most?
Well, that's what's weird, because actually I looked up an article that listed some of the directors that may have been that may be considered for this, and I'm still on the fence with a lot of them. You need somebody who really knows sci-fi, and I mean like really knows sci-fi, because this is. I mean, it's about scientists, you know? So knowing how the MCU has played out, they very much lean into the specialties of their characters. So they need somebody who is really going to try to be as accurate as possible, I guess, to the lore and to the science, while also maintaining the integrity of the fantastical aspect of the Fantastic Four. We're also juggling 4 different characters. We can't really zero in on 1 or 2 and have the others take a back seat. So who's a director that really is good at ensemble casts, and is also good at balancing hard science with the fantasy? I don't know who you came up with. Honestly, I'm having some trouble coming up with people. I do like some of the options that I read, and I cannot believe I'm going to say this. But one of them that was on the list, I kind of agree with for the reasons that I said, and that is Justin Lin.
He is available now after quitting Fast X.
Big cast, right?
A family.
So, yeah, a family. I mean, and literally in this aspect.
And he's used to working with a Thing in Vin Diesel.
There you go. So we have familiarity with that aspect. We have familiarity with the fantastical aspect because Fast and Furious series is just fucking bonkers. And then we have the science fiction aspect because he was behind Star Trek Beyond. So,
I always forget he did the 3rd Star Trek.
Right? So he has science fiction under his belt. He has a lot of the things that Fantastic Four has under his belt, and I think he might be the best option without going straight to the Russo brothers, which is something I really don't want to see because I don't want to see another Avengers toned movie in
I
the MCU this far in.
I think they're saving the Russos for another Marvel movie that's coming down the pipe, another Avengers style crossover. So some of the names that I feel like I talked about last time we talked about Fantastic Four were John Krasinski, but I don't think his name still is in the running because if we're talking about big directors, I think he's more known for acting than he is directing. I'm still hoping that he sticks on in some other capacities for the movie. Just, I don't think he's directing it. I floated out Peyton Reed because his name was originally attached to this project for years. And then he was given Ant-Man. I wasn't going to say Peyton Reed until the season 2 finale of The Mandalorian, in which case he blew away my expectations. I think he did phenomenal with that. I think I also suggest Matthew Vaughn. I think could be a fun name, but given his past few Kingsman movies, I have not been the biggest fans of, but the name I will still stick with that they should go with. I don't know if it's a quote unquote big enough name. The Incredibles, Brad Bird. He has done hard sci-fi with The Incredibles, with a family, but also an ensemble cast with probably still the best Mission Impossible with Ghost Protocol, which is a team dynamic. I think, and also done, say what you will about the movie, but he's done hard sci-fi with Tomorrowland as well. I will still stick with Brad Bird in the Disney family. I think Brad Bird's the front runner, but also if we're going with quote-unquote big names, let me throw out one more. Jon Favreau. You introduced the MCU with Iron Man. How about another, okay, we'll give you, we need this one to succeed. We need the safe hands that are Jon Favreau. And maybe they'll do the same thing with Iron Man of, we need this to work, give it to Favreau. And honestly, since Iron Man 1, Favreau's stock has only risen even higher, minus Iron Man 2, but we all collectively agree not to talk about that one. If it was up to you, of those choices, what stands out, Ivan?
I can agree with Favreau because of that safety net, but I would just as well go with Matthew Vaughn. I mean, he has superhero, quote unquote, superhero experience with Kick-Ass.
That's
So
a superhero.
he knows how to write a superhero arc, or he knows how to direct a superhero arc. Same thing with Kingsman. He knows how to do action sequences. He knows how to do all of that. X-Men First Class was Matthew Vaughn. So he has that hero experience. He's done Marvel properties before. And First Class was pretty strong movie. I like that
Yeah.
a lot. And it's an ensemble cast. It's everything. It hits all the points that you would need for a Fantastic Four movie. The good thing about Matthew Vaughn is that what he would have to do is just lessen the scale. He already knows how to do a really huge scale, and which is why I think John Krasinski would be a bad choice for this, because given Quiet Place, he's really good at claustrophobia. His scale isn't there yet.
True, but to defend Krasinski here, the Russos, before doing Captain America and Avengers, did TV with Community. So, like, sometimes you just gotta trust people. Like, they massively trust the Russos, and that paid huge dividends for them. Or
Fair.
you trust low-budget horror directors all the time, like David F. Sandberg and Andy Muschietti, and you give them big, huge budgets, and they're like, oh, yeah, money, what's this? And end up overachieving because of it. I've been saying Brad Bird for years, and I'll still kind of stick with that.